FM and WAPB 91.7 FM. And I am super excited. We're on countdown to WAPN's 40th birthday, and I'm sharing memories. And this has been so special for me. So can you introduce yourself and your ministry, please?
Carl Harrington, and He Loves Even Me Ministries.
You have to get closer to the mic, please.
Okay.
You have to be about this close to the mic, okay? Go ahead.
And I'm his wife, Diane.
And you're part of the ministry
Yes,
also.
I am. Thank
you.
So tell us, when is your ministry on, and a little bit about your ministry, please.
I have my helper here. I'll let her start off.
We are on every Thursday evening at 6 o'clock, and we're on for 30 minutes.
And how long have you been doing that?
Well, we've been on the air since 2012.
And it's cute because you started off at 15 minutes.
We did.
And we found out that you
Monday
could not.
through Friday.
Oh, yeah, 5 days a
You
week.
couldn't do it in 15 minutes, could you?
Well, we
He
found
did
out
it.
we could. We had to have 5 days ahead of time.
Yes, you do. People, that's my number one thing. People don't realize that if they're sending me the file,
Yeah.
and everybody's sending me files nowadays, I have to do all those. So it's so funny
Right.
because last week it happened to me. Somebody said like at the last minute, and I'm like, it will crash the whole system. And then I'll really have a problem because I have to call in the engineer. So how come you're on WAPN? Do you have a story about WAPN, or what made you decide to come on WAPN? Had you been listening? How did it all work out for you?
Well, we've known WBA. We know the radio station since for years and years, but we're out talking with people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm a native from here, and I like to run my mouth. And
No.
I was born again in 1967.
77.
1976. Like
76.
yeah, 76. Been too long ago.
Yeah. Well, hey, all those numbers don't matter at this point, do they?
And I did my born again experience, and it took years and years for me to become who I really am, because I wasn't who I really was back then. And
It's a process.
so
Yes.
I started sharing because he was sharing with me about what love is, and I didn't know what that was. And so I learned.
God was sharing to you.
Yeah, he was sharing to me. The Holy Spirit was sharing to me. And so I went out and started talking and sharing with people. And years went by, and I learned an awful lot. And so one night he gave me a love letter from him.
That's cool.
And I had my wife eventually write it down. And then I rewrote it as to what he shared with me, exactly what it was. And I even shared it to Ron Fussell when I did, and other people. And every time we went and talked, wherever we went, we shared with other people. And they said, "Where can I hear what you're saying?" I said, "Well, I don't know." I said, "You can go to church and hear what the Word has to say." But I says, "You're not going to hear it the same way that I'm saying it, because whenever I read the Bible even, it jumps off the pages is when I read it to people. And it's like, oh my gosh." He says, "Well,
You bring it to life.
I bring it to life, absolutely. That's who he is." And so I happened to be one day with Ron Fussell, and I read it to him. And he said, "Can I read this on my show?" I said, "Sure." And he did. And he says, "You know what you need to do? You need to go to the radio station here." He said, "He's been on there such and such amount of years."
He's been
He
on the
says,
whole
"You
time."
need to go there and talk with them." And we didn't have a clue what we were doing.
That's
We were
okay.
just-
It was easy to learn,
we
wasn't
were
it?
following exactly what the Lord gave us to do, because people were asking.
And that's
Where
what I
can
love
we
about
hear that?
WAPN is you don't have to have a big church. You can be a layman. You could be anybody that believes in the Lord and wants to pray for people, and we could figure out how to get you on the air.
Amen.
Absolutely.
And it was cute because my dad, he was the original person, the visionary. He didn't know how to do all this, just so y'all know. I mean, he could tell you, "Oh, I need you to take care of that," but he didn't actually know how to do it all. And so when I came along, I actually was a weekend warrior. I would come up here on the weekends and help him do stuff. Worked at a different job and all that, and then finally I came here right about 40 years ago and started working here, and it was been a blessing to me to meet all the people. And I think my favorite part is to teach people how to be part of the radio station, and that it's easy. People, I don't know what they think happens. I don't know if they think I don't want you to be a polished person. I really don't. And people go, "You don't want it perfect?" I go, "No, because I'm definitely not perfect." And I think that you reach more people when you're not perfect and you share from your heart.
Right.
Well, you were very helpful. When we
Yes, you
first
were.
started in
Yeah.
2012, we came here to the station to record our messages. And and you showed us how, and we tried to be not nervous. 'Cause you said people can hear you being nervous.
Yeah, I tell everybody always smile because they can tell that you love what you're doing and you believe in what you're doing. I think that's very important. So
Yeah.
you recorded here for a while.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
And then you went and did what?
And then we got a recording software at home, and we were able to do it at home all these years.
Isn't that neat that you can actually do that though and send
It
it
is.
from anywhere in the world
And then
now?
you get to edit.
Well, it's funny because she's so cute. We're going live. Yes, we are. Because you can edit and all that stuff, and people think that I will edit for them, and I'm like, I don't have. That takes time.
We try to make our message like a sitcom that you hear back in the older days. It's a whole story.
It does remind me of
It has
sitting in front of a
beginning,
radio.
A beginning, a middle, and an end. And we never leave you hanging on the cross. He's already done that for us. The object is to be the real who it is. And
agree.
that's how come we're on the air. Because every time we shared with somebody, man, you guys are the real thing. Oh my gosh.
Well,
We're gonna
it's
hear
neat
more.
because I love it when you have the little birds chirping and stuff in
Yeah,
the
they are.
background.
They're in our
And- well, it's cute because I always think of the red cardinal you gave me because red cardinals are so important to me. So when I hear that, I'm always thinking the messengers from heaven because that's what a red cardinal means, you know. And
Yes.
I do like it that you do the whole thing, the story from the beginning to the end, because back in the day when there was only radios, I'm showing my age, but people would sit around and that was their entertainment before we got all these other things. Now, some of these things are great and some of them are not, but I believe that all the things God's using for different ages and all that right now, and I think that that's really important. I know when you started sending your programs, it was a little intimidating, right, at first?
Yep,
And-
it was.
Because you're trying to figure out, okay, I'm doing it in a computer and it's going through the air to get here. You know what I'm
Say,
saying?
Shelley, did you receive it?
I know, it's so cute. And I still get that from people and it cracks me up because it's like, how does it really work?
Yeah.
But when you think about it, how does the radio really work?
Right.
I remember my son one time said, Shelley's in the car in the radio when he was like 4 years old. He couldn't figure out how she was,
that's
in the truck in this thing. How was that me? And I'll never forget that moment because really, how does it all work? And just think of the people we're reaching. We are around the world, and I actually get calls from around the world, and that's
Wow.
Yes, it is really neat when. You get somebody that calls and says, well, I'm in Kentucky or wherever they're at, and I'm listening, and I was wondering where that program is or how do they do that? It just blesses my heart. So I love it that people are coming in here and sharing and talking about how their ministry goes. Now, I love something that you brought in with you. You can put it up and show everybody, actually.
Right here?
Yep, the camera will see you.
Okay.
And tell us about that.
This is one of our books that we put all our messages into books.
And that just amazes me that you do that.
This happens
And
to
we
be book
record
72. And Carl also writes children Christian messages. And we have storybooks. Storybooks.
How neat is that?
About 9 of those.
Now, have you published them yet or just not yet?
We would love to.
Oh, yes. We love
just
a
don't know
publisher.
who and how to do that.
Well, nowadays it's not as hard as it used to be. I know that there's several people on the air that have self-published, and I'm like, wow. Back in the day, you had to send it off and critique it and all that. There's a lot of self-publishing
Well,
things
we're
now.
wanting it to get out there where people can actually, not just me delivering it out there. I want it to be out there.
Right, but the thing is, you could starting that way is what I'm
Really?
saying. Oh, yeah, because nowadays with the technology that's out
If you
there,
were to read some of these, it's like, oh my gosh. I've heard this all my life and never heard it like this before.
well,
That's how she
and-
became born again through me.
Isn't that
Absolutely,
neat?
yes.
I had her read First John, that first little bit there, and I said, now read that. And she read it. And then I asked her, stopped her, and I said, what did you read? And she said, well, that's it. I said, well, read it again. And she read it again, and this time she knew I was going to ask her. It changed everything about it. So then I gave her a little bit of something to go with it. She said, now read it again. Wow, it does say that. And then I said, well, let me give you something else. She couldn't sit down after that. She was all over the place. And this is before she was born again.
isn't that wonderful?
She knew the Lord, 50 years of it.
Right,
Never heard it.
right. There's a big
Where it
difference
came to
between knowing and hearing
life,
it,
'cause
isn't it?
Lights your
Absolutely.
light,
Yep.
and then it's like, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You become the real thing instead of, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that, but I know that, but I didn't know that.
And that is totally how it is, isn't
It
it?
changes from that moment on, and it's salvation after salvation, salvation, born again, born again, born again, born again, because it was in the darkness in you. And once it comes to life, it's like, wow, and then you own it. It's not out there, it's here, everywhere.
That's
Man.
funny because I think of that with music for me.
Yeah, same
You know,
thing. Yeah.
I don't sit there and read the scriptures and read it and do it like you did. I mean, that's really cool that you can do that because I am not good at that. I'm just going to tell you right now. But if I hear it in music, I don't know why. Something with the music gets to my soul. And it was funny for years. I would, you know, get in the car and turn on country music as I was driving home after a long day or whatever. And then one day God said, "Why are you doing that? That's not feeding you." And I thought, not feeding me. It's just music, right? And he said, you start listening to praise and worship, and it's going to start fueling you.
Absolutely.
Amen.
And so I started, you know, and I was like, oh my goodness. And now there's such a movement with the youth right now over music. And I just love it to see my granddaughter being excited about music and be excited about, you know, they're wearing the Christian shirts. They're bold right now. And I don't think in my lifetime we've ever had young people be as bold as they are right now.
Yeah.
And they're really hungry.
Yes.
Really hungry. I mean, like when you said the books for kids, they're hungry right now. They want to carry it. They want to wear it. They want to own it. They want to share it, you know. Well, I think, why do we not want to do all those things?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, as adults, of course, we do that. But why do the younger people didn't ever want to do that? I guess they felt embarrassed or whatever, or peer pressure. But to see it happening right now is amazing.
Yeah, in our stories, I go step by step by step
So how do people
'Cause
get your
everything-
stories?
on your radio.
Thursday
Well,
evening at
yes,
6
but
o'clock.
if they want actually to get a copy, or do you do the books? Do you copy those for people? Do you give them CDs? How do people get it if they're listening and they say, I want a copy of that?
Right now, we don't have that way.
Well, we have been offering CDs.
Yeah.
Okay, so
do
how would they get a
CDs.
hold of you?
I believe on the program guide, our email or phone number or something.
Okay, but you
is
could actually
shown.
give it out over the air right now if you want to. Do you have your email or your phone
Our
number?
email address is Carl Harrington, CarlHarrington @att.net.
I love it that she's AT&T. I'm Bell South. I mean, I'm not getting rid of it, okay? That's been mine forever, so I'm not getting rid of it. What does the future look like for you guys in your ministry?
Well, we're still wanting to grow.
Yes, we do.
Well, and that's important.
I write each one of these down, and I move out of me and move into Him. Even when we record, same thing. I don't even know what I'm going to be reading, what I wrote.
Can I read some
then
of
I
his
become-
titles?
Sure.
The message titles, one is called Wanted, Dead or Alive. Another one is called The Peace of My Heart. Another one is called Unseen Darkness. And then there's Living Daylights Revealed. From sunset to sunrise, let there be light.
Oh, I like that.
Is your twilight glowing?
So are
These
you
are just some of the
are you constantly
titles.
still writing, or are you going back?
Oh,
writing.
always,
Still
yes.
writing it.
And,
I didn't know I could write.
and he hasn't even recorded everything
Until-
yet. So
I didn't even know I could write.
So do you actually write it, or she writes it for you?
I write it, and then she redoes
I
it.
type it up
She
after he
types
writes it.
Yeah.
Because
And
I'm
then-
not a writer.
and then
I'm a
it's on the
stickier.
computer.
Yeah, I'm a little stickier. You know, people I say, "Are you ever going to write a book or anything?" No, I do sticky. So, were you ever like a journaler, or all of a sudden God just gave you this gift and you
I
just
was a
started
plumber.
flowing?
It is
Well, that's a
God's
very
gift.
important job too, buddy.
I did not. I didn't. Listen.
When God
From-
showed
from
you, He
10
showed you
years old,
everything.
It was just me and my dad was never there.
Okay.
He drank all his life. He never got over my mom dying when I was 18 months old. And so it was just me and the world. And then when I got saved, oh my gosh, now it's me and him.
And it just
ain't
started
so
flowing
much
out
about
of you.
the world.
Right.
And then it's like, oh my gosh. And he started revealing and revealing and revealing.
And
then
he
as
is such a spirit-led man.
As
oh
I
my
read,
goodness.
it jumps off the pages at me. just like it did with her, and it still does.
It does.
He'll give me this, and then he'll show me, oh, over here, and this, and they all join together because everything is all about him and you.
So how long does it
Everybody
take
else.
you to pull off a
Yeah.
show? Like, I mean, is it just flows so easily out of
Oh,
you?
No. That probably just one thing takes, if you put it in hours, I can't even tell you.
It just depends. It could be 2 days. It could be 5
could
days
be-
on a message.
Well, see, people need to understand that because I know, like, people always think, well, do you just people that write songs? I always think, do you just like standing in the shower and all of a sudden the song comes to you? When you're doing a message, it's process, isn't it?
It's a process.
And it flows.
Yeah.
And he'll just write, and it just flows. Sometimes he can't write fast enough because the
I don't
Holy
even
Spirit
know what I
is
wrote when I write.
giving it to
certain
him.
things.
So when was the last time you wrote a sermon?
Oh gosh, a couple of weeks ago.
Okay. So you never know when it's going to happen.
Never know. That's how he woke me up with the love letter from God. Oh gosh.
Well, tell us again how we find you, how we call you, when you're on, so people can know.
Thursday evening, every Thursday at 6:00 p.m. Please listen and receive God's word. And our email, carlharrington@att.net, and through the radio station also.
Well, thank you.
WAPN.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming
And we love
in.
it.
We do.
Hey, wait a minute. He loves even you.
Yep, he does.
It's a big part of our lives.
Yeah. Isn't
And
it
we thank
funny?
you, Shelley.
Oh, of course. Isn't it funny when radio gets in you? You know, my dad was a rock and roll radio station manager when he was in the world. And then he got radically saved and life changed and he had to do other jobs, but he always wanted to do radio. And that's how we ended up with WAPN because that was always in him, that radio and how it reached people and how it did things, you know. And so from rock and roll to praise and worship, you never know what God's going to use. He used that rock and roll though. To get where my dad was today. You know what I'm saying? So I don't ever think...
We use it too.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. People sometimes think, well, I did this before I was a Christian. How can God use that? He's going to use it.
One of the first questions we asked you was, what all can we do
On the air.
On the air. And he said, well, pretty much anything.
Yeah.
We'll let you know what you can't do. I said, because we take other people's music and change the words. 'Cause
Right.
I am a poet and knew that since I was little. You tell me something, you want a poem, I can write you one a heart, just boom, boom, boom.
That's really
And
cool.
when he sings,
I
he sounds
sing
like
like
Elvis.
That's really cool, though.
And
that
I do it on the radio in
Yeah.
our messages whenever we do it sometimes.
They're
and
great.
they're redone. Some I just take a whole, man, oh man.
It's fun, huh?
Oh yeah, it's magical.
I can't imagine you not
miracles.
being on the radio because it's so special to you.
It's fun.
Well, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much
Thank
for
you.
coming by today.
Thank you,
and God
Shelley.
bless you.